I don't see this being an easy win for Belgium. I don't see Austria winning this, not even 10%. This is going to be an Italian win. The French, I think what's going to happen here is they're going to win and they're going to move on to the second round. I say Croatia advances past the first round. Second round, they're going to meet France. It's going to be a World Cup 2018 rematch. On the other side, we've got Sweden and the Ukraine. Sweden is undefeated. The Ukraine got in. I don't know how. I believe that Sweden will take this one easily. England does not stand a chance against the German powerhouse. I think the Dutch crunch is going to come and nail Schick down. So that's what I think is going to happen here. I don't think Wales has a chance in this game. I just have a feeling that Denmark's just going to be on fire. Here's to the great picks I made.
So you got 2 right. If we want to look at the positive side of things, right?
Yeah.
He got Italy and Denmark right. That was it.
Wow.
That was it.
Wow.
He called the 50-50 on the Belgium-Portugal one, but you got to make a pick, man. I can't believe you didn't make a pick. And I think you would have picked Portugal.
Portugal 100% because he's in love with Ronaldo.
Cheers. Cheerio.
And Govik, we're only really ragging on you here because you love to call out all of our picks that don't hit. I mean, it's not easy. I'm glad you see now what we do. And, it just doesn't go always to plan.
All right. Well, welcome to episode 21. That's right. 21 weeks of the West Coast Sports Junkies. Where would you rather be right now other than listening to our show? Or watching. It's gonna be an eventful show tonight. We've got a lot of things going on. We've got the Euro Cup. We've got sirens in the background at my house because I live in the ghetto. We've got
someone probably has committed suicide after making all the picks he told them to bet on. Man, lost their fucking house.
Jesus. So we got the Stanley Cup Finals. Which, we'll see what happens there too. I'm not making any picks anymore. I'm retired.
You already picked it. Picked it though.
I'm retired from making picks.
Yeah, didn't he guarantee? He guaranteed the Islanders are going to go through there, didn't he?
I believe so. Look, you're making him drink all his drinks way too quick.
Sorry, Chris.
Sorry, we're interrupting you. Let's get the show rundown.
I just cannot wait to rag on you, man.
Yeah. Well. Euro's been very interesting. Actually, I really like this Euro. I think 2 of the best games of the tournament were a couple days ago. We'll break those down. One being the Croatian team, obviously, but those 2 that day was fantastic. It was bad for me because Croatia lost, but I got a lot of satisfaction in the second game. And it is our Canada Day show. We're approaching Canada Day. I know everybody else is wearing Canada gear. I'm unfortunately, you know what? I'm just way too hot to put anything Canadian on because everything I have that's Canadian is like it's there to keep you warm. But anyways, we're here. We're loving it. This has been a great week of sports. I got to say, it's been fantastic. Lots of UFC junk talk. Dana White's freaking out. Tanner Bozer had a good win. It's been a good week. I gotta say. I mean, we kind of came out late with our last episode. This episode's not going to be late, and we're going to be on time, and it's going to be a good episode. All right. So,
did you just puke?
Oh man, there's that shot I did. So I own a shot.
That was the shot for the Germany lost England, correct?
No, that was like
that we bet.
Loss.
No, we bet off air.
Yeah. Oh, that's a separate shot. I didn't. I took my Portugal loss.
Of course, yeah. Don't worry. You only have to have one tonight, Dan.
Okay.
Not to worry.
What do you mean he only has one?
I don't make stupid picks.
Okay, let's get our. Oh, you're the king of stupid picks. You're the king of stupid picks. Let's get our beer in here tonight. So on June 25th, Mr. Mike and I, we went to Martin Brewing and we picked up a couple of growlers. Now, the first one we picked up was the Bonnie Henry Ale, which we all drank because it was just so good. But for the show tonight, it's the Vanilla Blueberry Ale. And I'm going to pour this up in my glass right now. Martin Brewing out of Vernon, BC. Mike and I were there, like we said. The food was great. I had the brisket salad thing there with arugula. It was super good. Let's see what this looks. Oh,
Nice, yeah. So I poured this out a little early, just as you were taking your shot there, because I was a little thirsty. This is a really good beer.
Let's see.
This is right up Dan's alley. It's not as sour as the last blueberry beer we had.
Look at the color. Look at the color of that.
This is a great summer beer, really refreshing.
Okay, let's try it. Cheers.
A great heat wave beer. Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Thanks, Mike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, we went there a couple days ago, and Kris got a flight of beers, like a taster set or whatever. I just got the Bonnie Henry Blonde Ale because we had it before, and I really enjoyed it. And he tried this beer, and I was like, yeah, for sure, this is Dan Fernandez in a can. He's gonna love it. So we're gonna feature it on the show. We even told him about it. So shout out to Martin Brewing Co. It was fantastic staff. And we had a great time there that night, man. There's good food and some good drinks.
Yeah, when you sent that picture to the group chat, I was like, "Oh, are you at Martin Brewing? Is that where Bonnie Henry Ale is? Can you please grab me a growler?" And luckily for me, you guys brought Dan and I one back, which is awesome.
We came through. Yeah,
you guys came through, and I enjoyed that tonight, battling this heat wave prior to the show. So. Yeah,
they said that we set a record for the most growlers sold at one time to two people. Yeah. We got 4 big growlers and 4 of the smaller growlers.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I finally finished my pre-recording beer, and I've poured myself what you guys are talking about, and let's see if you are correct.
Oh, it's Dan Fernandez in a can.
Ooh, wow. Yep.
There you go.
Good. Yeah.
All right.
So why don't we just dive right into it there, Kris? We'll let you have the floor.
Yeah, we will dive right into it. So we'll go with the first game, the most closest to heart to mine. Was Spain and Croatia. It wasn't the first game since the last time we talked, but it was the first game that we're going to talk about tonight. Now, amazing game. That first goal, I think I was doing cartwheels. Honestly, when you have an own goal like that, it is fantastic for the other team. For the other team and their supporters, it is unbelievable. Unbelievable. What'd you think of that goal, Ty?
Oh, man, I couldn't believe it. I was loving it. I placed a small bet, as we talked about, on Croatia to win that game. And, yeah, you get a freebie like that early in the game. I mean, against a tough opponent like Spain, that was I was over the Warren Moon myself. Obviously, I was pulling for Croatia because of you. I like to see my friends' countries, teams, win their game. So that opening goal, what a way to start the game. And kind of went sideways there for a bit after that. But tell us about the second half there, Kris, and near the end of the game.
Okay, so yes, first half 1-0. Spain tied it up pretty quick there, just before the half, and then they went up, and they went up with a 2-goal lead. Actually, 3-1. We're all sitting there. Everybody's obviously depressed. Everybody that I'm watching the game with, and Croatia comes back. They make a change, score a nice goal. They had to actually. The defender was inside the net, so it didn't even really look like it went in at first, but it did go in. And then in injury time, Croatia ties it up. That to me was fantastic. We were jumping around. I tripped and fell during the during the celebration. It was honestly an amazing feat. Just to get into extra time was good. Spain then did come and score 2 quick goals, and it was pretty much over. But what I do like, this is an older club, this is an older team, and but they did mix in some of the young guys. Now, some of the young guys showed a lot of promise. There was a 19-year-old playing the goalie, Livakovic. He touched during the regular game, during regular time, he touched every ball that went in, which tells me that he's on it. He just needs a little bit of a better of a defensive pair to
Yeah, the
help him
future
out
is
there.
bright, I would say for sure.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
him.
the future's
But-
bright.
But how about in the first half there of extra time, that save Spain's goalie made, which would have
Oh,
obviously changed that game on Croatia.
it would have. So he definitely redeemed himself from the own goal. That was an amazing save. You don't see that every day. I think that was one of, like, up until that point, that was the most exciting game of the tournament. I have to say that. I think we can all agree that that's a pretty fair
100%.
statement. Yeah. So it was a great game. Spain did end up coming through. It was a good win for Spain. I think they had a whole ton. Like, as soon as they put that own goal in, Croatia was all over them. And if Croatia had scored there, I think it would have been over. They didn't have that opportunity. Obviously, it would have been. I think it totally would have been over. Spain was just overwhelmed at the moment. But when they did come back, that sparked some life into them. But Croatia's always a come from behind team. I know even when they went to the final, when they beat England, it was it was a come from behind win, and that's just the type of game they play, and it's a very exciting type of game. I mean, for a country with 4 million people, I mean, that's less than BC. I mean, that's a pretty good accomplishment. That was a great game. And then the second game of that day, wow. I mean, Spain, you think Spain is good? France had the most stacked team I've ever seen. Like, they have Conte, they have Pogba in the midfield, they have Griezmann playing center forward, they have
Mbappe.
Benzema, Giroud as a substitute. Come on. Like, this is a team, an unbelievable. They've got Hernandez, and like the center backs are good. The goalie is I never thought he was that great, but he does play for a British team, so or an FA Cup.
Well, and
team.
normally they score enough goals where he doesn't have to be that good, right? Just make a few saves. And,
That's right.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But wow, what an amazing comeback from the Swiss. That was something to say. Like,
And the penalties.
Oh,
Obviously, it went to penalties after the Swiss comeback, and they were all world class. Like, they just hit their marks on those shots away from the goalie. And how fitting, well, not fitting, but the irony, it was Mbappe, their star, who was the guy who missed the kick.
yeah, and they've
sudden
got
death.
they had they had a couple articles that came out before the game saying Mbappe's ego is too big for the team. Right? I read that, and to see him
Be the guy that misses that kick.
get destroyed at that point, that actually made me happy. I never did like the French team. I was rooting for the Swiss. I mean, there's a couple of reasons why I like the Swiss, but that game, that was unbelievable.
That day of soccer, Euro Cup soccer, was amazing. Mike, what did you think of that day? Would you say it's one of the best of a 2-day game slate of you've seen in the Euro Cups that you've watched?
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was actually by far the best soccer that I've ever seen, watching Euro or even World Cup soccer. With those two games, starting off with the Croatia game, obviously I was rooting for Croatia. Kris being one of my best friends and being a diehard Croatian fan that he is. But I've got to tell you, when that first goal went in on the own goal there by Spain, I was like, no. I had a feeling that that's how they were going to win the game, and I was not going to hear the end of it from Kris. Oh, we're the best, blah, blah, blah. And that's how they would have won. That's what I was going through my head the whole time. Like, no, please don't be like this. But then, yeah, it turned out to be an amazing game. They came back. They showed just so much fight to continue on to play there and to tie it up. going to over to extra time. I conceded the loss at about the 80th minute. I thought for sure this game was over. They're down by 2 goals or whatever it was. And then the France Swiss game, yeah, same thing. It was we were working and I had it on in our dispatch room at work, and we just like stopped everything and just started watching soccer. Same thing when Croatia tied it up. We just stopped everything. Now we're just watching soccer and answering phones, and that was it. Same thing with the France game when it down to penalties. I had that feeling though. I just had that feeling that Swiss was going to win that one for some reason. That's how I felt. Well, as it was going into the penalty shots, anyways.
Yeah. No, Dan, what did you think of those games?
Well, you know what? I wish I worked in the environments that you guys work in to be able to watch soccer all day. But, unfortunately, I don't get to watch it live. I'm watching the updates on my phone, and then I have it recorded at home, watch it on highlights. But, honestly, for those listeners out there, or even you guys, if you've actually played a soccer game, it doesn't matter whether it's pro, whether it's youth or whatever, being down 2 goals with 5 minutes left, like, this is not hockey. It's not pulling your goalie and get another extra player and dump it down the net, maybe get an open net. You know how difficult it is to bring the ball down the whole field. So I think
I'll jump in real quick. That was like, I'll just jump in real quick, let you go. That's like a 4 or 5-0 lead in hockey, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. I would agree.
Yeah.
Like a 2 goal with 5 minutes left in soccer is, exactly. Like when you have these big comebacks, 5, like you said, 5 goals, 50 points come back in like the NBA, things like that. Like, those are unheard of. So again, definitely it made it so exciting. It made it, I think people appreciate what it takes for, that type of game in terms of soccer and the Euro Cup. But again, props to some of these teams. The Swiss, you telling me I would have bet my house on France beating the Swiss? I was telling all you guys, guaranteed, easy lock. Hey, sometimes, again, it doesn't matter on what the players you have. It just happens to be that day, and the Swiss had their day. And oh man, it's making it pretty exciting. There's going to be a new winner, a new Euro Cup winner.
Yeah,
that's why.
For sure.
That's why they play
Portugal.
the games, right?
Yeah, no, not Portugal.
So I'll tell you one silver lining. The Swiss coach, he's Vlad Petkovic.
I knew you were gonna find it.
Well, I gotta say he's Croatian. He's a Croatian guy. So I'm just saying he's a good guy. Anyways, back to some of the other matchups. So Italy, Austria. Wow, what a tight game that was. I called that to be a thumping, and that was not a thumping. That was an almost Italy loss.
I think we all thought it was going to be a thumping, right? We can't fault you on that one, Kris.
No, but I mean, I should know these things.
You don't need to cry, man. It's okay. We're not mad at
I'm
you.
not crying. I just got something in my eye.
I know.
But that game should have been a thumping. It wasn't. It was a very close game. I actually thought when Arnautovic scored that goal, I thought, holy fuck, this is over. But it was called offside to Italy's luck. And
what a close call that was too.
Oh, that was a super close call, and that was a nice goal.
Yeah.
You know what? Real quick, while we're on that topic, what do you guys think of all the VAR in this?
I don't like it.
VAR.
Actually, wasn't it Swiss? They video replayed a penalty, and they got a penalty shot out of it. Which the goalie still saved it, but still, I can't believe that can happen. That imagine in football if they had video replay on penalties, every 100%. Single play they'd be flowing the challenge flags.
I don't like it.
Schick got his nose broken by a Croatian, by Dan Lovren, in the penalty box, and that caused the penalty shot. That's the only reason Croatia tied up with the Czechs. Otherwise, they would have won. But also,
that wasn't a video replay, was it?
Yeah, it was a video replay. And
really?
Yeah, and also Croatia got fucked against France in the final of the World Cup for a video replay. So, I don't like that. I don't like it either. I like the classic. If you see it, you call it, and that's it. Right?
That's the reason why you got refs out there. You have 3 or 4 refs. They got a ref on the field, I think, and then they have a couple linesmen. I mean, they're the ones that should be calling the game. That's how it's always been. That's how it should be. To an extent, maybe with goal or no goal to cross the line, sure.
Yeah, but that's what I agree. Yeah.
finding penalties in the on a play that had even if it was away from the ball or whatever. Like, come on, that's
Yeah.
So I don't remember. Was the range this wide in the World Cup in terms of replay?
No,
It wasn't, right?
No,
yeah.
the first thing that got called was in the final against Croatia. The first time ever. It was
Of
bullshit.
course, huh?
Yeah, of course. Anyways, let's get on to Belgium and Portugal. Dan, sorry, buddy. Portugal's out. Belgium's through. It was one goal. It was the one goal difference. It was Hazard. He scored a nice goal. It wasn't even really. I mean, the goalie should have had that. I don't know. He should have dove for it at least. Give me some effort, right? Patricio there, he didn't really do a good job. But hey, you know what? Belgium's through. They're one of the top teams. They're ranked number 1 in the world right now. Let's see what happens. Kevin De Bruyne, he got injured during the game. He got pulled. I'm not sure if he's going to play the next game. He is the best Belgian player. I think he's better than Hazard. He's better than Lukaku all around. So one fun fact about Kevin De Bruyne is that he is actually half English. So there you go. He decided not to play for the English team. He decided to play for Belgium. There you go. On the other side of the bracket, we had Wales and Denmark. Wow. Denmark. Whoo! What a beautiful story that's going to be.
The story continues. Yeah.
I'm going to root for them.
That's one game that you actually called correctly.
It is. Wales. Listen, Wales. They've got a couple of good midfielders. They have Gareth Bale, obviously the horse.
Wales has Bale.
But
that's about it.
Well, they have James too. James is pretty good. Wales. You saw it. Bale missed the penalty shot. It was just he shanked it. What can you say? Denmark, Schmeichel. You got Schmeichel. You've got that midfield that's really good. I mean, Christensen not Christensen. Christensen is playing Christian Eriksen, who's in the hospital right now. I mean, that's a Cinderella story. If they win it, I'll be very happy. I don't know that they can beat. I think they could beat the Czechs, who dominated the Dutch. Like, wow, the Orange Army was down. Oh, and
Chic.
Yeah,
that was the biggest surprise of the. Well, I wouldn't say biggest. Swiss beating France was big, but one of the biggest.
It was one of
the round of 16. Yeah,
it was one of the biggest. Another game today was big, but we'll get to that. The Netherlands, it's the same old story with them. They're good individual players. This is the Argentina effect. Good individual players can't play as a team, and they actually let go of their coach today. So that's it for him. They're going to go with a different style of coach. I think they should probably hire a Croatian guy, whip them into shape like the Swiss. So, but you know what? The Czechs, they made it in as a wild card, and Schick, Mike's favorite player there, had another big game, and they're going through, and I'm proud of them too. Slav life, right? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, down to the final bracket. Today's games: England versus Germany. Another bad pick by me.
I love it.
You know what, Harry?
Because you're so hard on the English team. You're like, they suck. They're the worst. Blah blah blah. They're favored right now to win this thing.
Yeah,
favored.
Well, yeah, and Southgate now he's a magician, right? He's the best coach. I can't stand the English propaganda. I cannot stand them. Come on. You know what? Italy. Here's the thing: is that I'm not an Italian fan. I never was. I respect this team a lot because they're scoring goals. I would way rather see Italy. If it was Italy, England in the final, there'd be no way that I'd be going for England. But hey, that's not going to happen anyways because the Ukraine's going to beat England next month or next week. So we'll see. Anyways, England did beat Germany. Germany could not score. I feel very bad for the German team. They were pressing.
They didn't look good. Both teams didn't look good.
Both teams didn't look good. No. Harry Kane finally scored. And you know what? I didn't think he was going to, but he did. Okay, he scored finally. He laid on the floor like it was like
he looked terrible.
Didn't he get 2 goals today?
No, just one.
No, just one. Yeah.
The second. But no, Harry Kane looked terrible, man. He slow, just falling all over the place, like you were just saying, Chris. Like diving too. There's very little to any contact on a lot of those 50-50 balls that he was going down like he'd been shot. It was pretty embarrassing.
It wasn't very. Did you see that first miss he had? That was the miss of the tournament.
Right before halftime, right?
Oh, I think me and you both texted, wow.
And really, there was just nothing from Germany at all. It was the team that showed up that played Hungary the other day. Like, these guys, they have it in them. They could have done it. If it was the same team that showed up that played Portugal, for sure they would have won. But
Yeah.
Like I sent a message to our group saying like I'd be surprised if either of those teams could win it the way they looked, especially in the first half. It was just there wasn't a lot there. Just sloppy.
No, it was terrible.
Yeah. I think I texted snooze fest if I got that from
Yeah,
from
you
Mike's
did.
term from
You
soccer,
did. You were like, this
but
is a snooze fest. And
it was.
actually was. I had it.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here on my computer working away and I have it on the screen. And I was watching it and I'm like, I'm not even like, I'm still working. And I look up and it's not like I'm getting like, caught in the moment like I was with the Ukraine game, which we'll talk about in a second. But I was just like, wow, this is boring. Anyways, England makes it 2-0. They go through to the next round. Southgate is a king. He's the greatest ever. You had Prince Charles there. You had Beckham and Ed Sheeran sitting beside each other. They were making out when they scored. Like it was disgusting.
You had Prince William there too, and his wife
and Kate.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Was it William? Yeah. Sorry. What did I say? Charles.
They were all in the same box.
Yeah, they were all together. They're gonna go jerk each other off after it was such a great win. Yes, awesome. And then we're
probably singing for them. He's got a really good voice.
That crowd was going wild though. You got to give it to those English fans. They show up.
And yeah, you know what? They had home field advantage, obviously, and the final is also at Wembley Stadium.
Bullshit. Anyways. And then you have Sweden and the Ukraine. I picked Sweden. Wow, what did the Ukraine do today? That, Slav life. Like, again, Eastern Europe, the Eastern Bloc. Love you, boys. I didn't pick you. But, Shevchenko's your coach. So that's another good thing. Sweden got a little bit of bad luck there. They had the red card. They were down a player. It was a 1-1 tie.
In the second half, they were pressing. They hit, I think they hit 2 posts and a crossbar with beautiful shots from that Forsberg.
Yeah, Forsberg's good.
He looked really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
Any relation to Peter?
No relation to Peter. No.
That's kind of why I was cheering for them, though. And I know the Sedins, our new advisors to the GM, would be cheering for them as well as Pedersen.
Absolutely, they would be
tweeting about it. So I was pulling for Sweden in that one. But like you said, Chris, that red card, that was some bad luck, but it was deserved. That was a nasty tackle. You know what? The player's name? He's done.
No,
he's totally done for the tournament.
Probably, yeah. I saw that tackle. It was pretty nasty. I think it was just bad timing. I don't think it was malicious in a way.
Agreed.
Just looking at it.
Because he got the ball first too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just the way it ended up, and a red card's a red card. What are you going to do? As Vancouverites, I think we all have a little bit of a soft spot for the Swedish teams, not during hockey season, but, for any other sport. I think we all, Marcus Naslund, the Sedins, we've got Pedersen. There's a lot of Swedish connection here. Granlund, the list goes on. So I think we kind of all wanted to see Sweden do well. Unfortunately, they didn't. But hey, you know what? The Ukraine, got to give them props. They're like they've got a much bigger population than Croatia, but they are like a Croatia team where they've got hard workers on the team. They don't have a lot of superstars. They had Shevchenko, which was unbelievable for a long period of time, but this is their time. Get in through. I'm rooting for you boys. I want you guys to beat England. I want you to slay the smackdown on England. It'd be awesome. I do like their jerseys too, those Joma yellow and blue. Actually, those two teams, yellow and blue, both of them. It's pretty cool to watch today. Anyways, this next I have the beer bracket. So maybe next week we'll have some of those beers. As you can see here, the beer bracket. And, the Swiss team, obviously, I went by what we can get in BC at the BC liquor stores. We don't have any Swiss beer, but we've got Swiss wine. So,
Swiss cheese.
And we got Swiss cheese. Hey, I could put Swiss cheese. Yeah, there you go. We can have a little bit of cheese with our beer.
Hey, I got to ask you, man, what is it you hate about England so much? Is it because they beat up on Croatia in game 1?
No, it's not that. It's just, it's England. It's like, It's like the New England Patriots of the NFL. I don't know. They just think they're so
But
good.
you love the
Actually,
Patriots.
Yeah, but you know what? The Patriots are good. Hold on. It's like the Dallas Cowboys of the NFL, right? They're just like, oh, it's America's team. It's the world's team, right? Oh, it's coming home. Oh yes, we are so good. Oh yes, Beckham. Fuck off. I don't want to.
Like that's your English accent, man.
Yes.
Okay, well, on that note, my beer is empty. Why don't you pour up your shot for that England victory over Germany today? And then we'll get into our picks of the quarterfinals.
Deutsches football. I do like the Germans. I love the Germans.
They're out, bro.
Yeah, I know. Oh, you know what though? I'm gonna drink some. I'm gonna drink some French vodka here, just for the French loss, which I'm okay with. So let me pour that up. Man, my beer bracket. I really wish fucking Croatia made it through, so we'd have to drink Šljivovica. Oh, that would have been awesome.
That's not beer, man.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm going by what we can get at the BC liquor store.
Why don't we get? I ordered in Karlovačko to the BC liquor store when remember you're coming in for a fishing trip.
Yes, I remember that.
I had to buy a minimum order of like I think it was like 10 flats or something like that.
Yeah. You want to go halfers? I'm down.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, how about each of us gets 2.5 flats? Let's do that, huh? We drink Karlovačko.
But I want it in a bottle. That's what I want. The Karlovačko in a bottle.
Hey, that's a beer. That. That's the beer I drank in Croatia, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. You sent me a you sent me you sent me a frickin' on WhatsApp a photo message. I was like, this guy's a fucking prick. How badly I want that beer right now. It was a hot day. I remember when you sent that. You were sitting in Dubrovnik, one of the most beautiful cities in all of the Adriatic coast there. Okay, so here's my you know what? I love Germany. Scheiße! Here's my shot.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, man. Do you want help breaking down the quarterfinals? Or are you good?
No, I'm gonna do this now. Listen,
okay. I'm gonna tell you if I think you're wrong or not. Okay.
Okay. I've been mayor of Wrongville wrong this whole tournament.
Yes, yes, you have.
Anyways, okay.
In all sports, never mind Euro.
Shut up.
I love how he calls us out for being wrong at UFC.
Hey,
he's like, you better say something to our fans, man. Don't listen to us.
Listen, I won the PGA last week, so shut the fuck up. Okay, Dan, you're like a black cloud.
Anyway, this is why we're enjoying it so much, Mike, is because he can always calls us out. It's our turn.
Okay.
I want to hear. Let's start with the Swiss versus Spain. They kick it off Friday, July 2nd at 9 a.m.
We go. I'm gonna take Spain. The Swiss, I want them to win, but logically, the Spaniards have been on fire. Like to score 5 goals and 1 on yourself, and win
6, yeah.
It's just it's you know what? I have a feeling that the Spaniards are going to the semifinal, and who will they be facing? Between Belgium and Italy, I have to give it to Italy. Italy, firing on all cylinders. This team is a team possessed. I like Mancini's approach on this tournament. I think they've scored the most goals. They look the best. I think that last game where they got a scare, I think that does good for them. I think that's going to actually, it's not a loss, but it's almost a loss, and it opened their eyes onto how to play. I think this team is just destined to make the final. On the other side, I'm going to say between Denmark and Czech Republic, I don't know. It feels like Denmark's year to at least make it to the semifinals. I think with, the adversity they went through again, it's one of those other things. I think Schmeichel is just going to have a good game. I call it to be a 2-0 game for Denmark. I don't know why. I just think Schick won't be able to pull one past Schmeichel just because of the backstory. Now, to break the last game down, you know what? I'm going to bet with my other head. I'm going to go with the Ukraine to beat England. I have a feeling, again, they are what?
I don't know
Gotta
which head you're
expand on-
referring to,
gotta
man.
Expand on
My-
that statement.
My other head. You know when you think with your other head sometimes? I want to think with my other head, and I want the Ukraine to win. I'm going to pick the Ukraine. They're the underdog. Obviously, the English, the Ed Sheeran and Prince William, and everybody's there, and everybody's having a jerk fest. Have the jerk fest with Southgate in the middle, being in the middle of the circle jerk, come on a cracker, eat the cracker, whatever you do. But I want.
Whoa!
Whoa!
What do you do?
I want Southgate, the coach of the English team. He's going to eat the cracker. Okay. You got my word. You mark my words. Okay. He eats the cracker every time.
Now, what head are you thinking with for that one?
I'm thinking with my little head in comparison to this one. So anyways, I think, you know what? I'm not sure, but I want to see the Ukraine win. That's my pick.
feel a
I
shot
want the
bet
Ukraine win.
on that game.
Well, let me just tell you,
I'll give you
real
Govik,
quick here,
hold
Govik,
on,
you're
hold on,
wrong. Okay, go on.
Govik, I'll give you 2-1 on the Ukraine-England game.
Done.
Okay.
Done. We're having a bet.
Done. All right, Mike, go ahead and tell us.
Yeah,
what
I was
got
going to
wrong
give you
there.
my picks real quick there, Chris. I do agree with you on the Friday games. I got Spain beating Swiss. I got Italy beating Belgium. I believe that the winner of that game is actually going to win the whole thing too, Belgium or Italy. And Saturday, I'm going to go against you, man. Both games. I'm taking my boy Schick. He's just had an unbelievable tournament, and he's been unstoppable. I think he scored in every single game. I'm going with the Czech Republic, and I'm taking England. They're the favorites. They got the skill. They're going to get it done.
They don't, though. That's the thing. You're wrong. They have the name.
You've been saying this the whole time. They're still here winning. Okay?
Yeah,
You're wrong.
he's
In
got
what
you there,
way?
Chris.
In what way are they winning? They're not winning.
They've
because
scored
of their
more goals than their
pure
opponents,
skill.
and they advanced to the next round, man.
And they're the favorites.
They have now scored in total 5 goals in the whole tournament. They played 4 games. What are you talking about? Italy
They
scored
do what
5
they need
goals
to
in
do.
2.5 games. Oh, that's like the fucking old Italian teams. Fuck. I drink to the new Italian teams, okay? The new Italian teams. Cheers to you, Italy and Mancini.
Okay.
Here,
Okay,
cheers.
so I'm gonna make my
Cheers.
picks real quick. Mike, I actually agree with you on every one of your picks.
Oh, you guys are fucked.
My man.
So Dan, let's hear your 4 picks, and if you agree with Govik, we might be able to do another little shot bet in here.
No, I actually agree. I'm going to make my final pick. This is a prediction. Italy against England in Wembley Stadium.
Oh, man.
And,
What you went there?
and
You go straight to the finals?
England's winning.
Whoa. Whoa. Govic's going to have a current irony of you talking.
No,
So-
this is okay. The black cloud has spoken.
Dan, I hope you don't really believe this. I hope this is just like one of your like reverse curse kind of things, and you have something else in mind. But anyways, okay.
The black cloud has spoken.
For all the listeners, just to wrap up here quickly, like on, I think it was yesterday, I called before the game started. My pick was going to be Germany walking through on the other side. I mean, England was their only threat. Every single top team in the world, well, sorry, Mike and Ty, in the Euro
Thank you for clearing that up.
Yes, thank you.
I was on the left side with Portugal, Germany, France, Italy, Belgium, so on, Croatia. We'll throw in Spain. And wow, I said France, easy win, going all the way to the final against Germany. France is going to win it. Boom, France out. Then I was like, Germany all the way to the final, walking through. Boom, France out. Oh my God, I got to write some apologies in some emails.
The black cloud has spoken. The black cloud has spoken. Woo!
Well, yeah, good luck, boys. I guess this tournament seems to be wrapping up pretty quick. We have the quarterfinals this Friday and Saturday. Then it'll probably be a couple days break. Probably like mid next week, it'll be the final, hey?
July 11th is the final. Not this coming Sunday.
Okay, so it's the following.
Sunday.
Yeah.
July 11th. That is my wedding anniversary. I better remember to get something. Yeah.
Say, here's a beer, babe. Sit
Yeah.
down beside me. We're watching the game.
Here's a growler.
It's 9 a.m.
There you
Oh, it's
go.
probably be at noon. That's the perfect time.
Yeah, I'll be drunk by the. Actually, you know what? I'll tell
This
you guys.
guy's been hammered because the Croatia games have been like 6 a.m., 9 a.m. in the morning. They can't get a nooner if they paid off the organizers. He's drunk. He's on fishing time when there's
Oh man. So actually, I'll tell you the funny story. So I'm a Croatia game, and I had like 10 beers. They're that, and especially when they tied it up against Spain, I was like, I had 2 in like 5 minutes, and then they lost, and I'm depressed, and I'm like, I need to lay down for a bit. I pass out. They're doing family pictures around me. I'm passed out on the couch. She posted my sister on Facebook. I'll put it up here. You guys can see it if you can
You
see
should
it.
post it on our social media, man.
Oh man.
It's a good one. It's funny.
Here,
It's at like 10:30 a.m.
yeah, really it is, and I'm passed out, and they're doing family photos.
No, hey guys, could you imagine if Croatia came back and won that game? This guy, like just knowing this guy,
boy.
oh man, we'd
We'd
never
still be
live it
talking
down.
about it.
We'd
We'd still
never
be
live
talking
it
about that
down.
game on this episode.
We would not be recording today. He would be still hammered.
He'd be
Dude.
still partying.
In 2002, Italy played Croatia in the World Cup, and Italy scored first. It was like 4 a.m. or whatever. I went to bed. Anyways, wake up. Croatia had come back and scored 2 goals to win this game. 22 years I haven't heard these guys hasn't lived that moment down. 22 years. It's ridiculous.
Croatia's never lost to Italy. Boom. But hey, you know, Croatia.
So we should thank Spain for
Yeah, you go ahead.
doing
and
what they
thank
need to
Spain.
do there.
You go ahead.
No,
and thank
just
Spain.
for our show at least, right? We got to get some other content on here than Croatia, but
They slayed the dragon! The brilliant best of Luka Modric is just too good for Scotland. Mario Mandzukic pounced, and England are hurt. Touchdown Seahawks!
Right. That was some great Euro talk. We'll see what happens. I think my picks will be right this time, but we'll see. Now let's get on to the NHL playoffs. And the Montreal Canadiens got spanked. We get spanked in game 1. Goalie let in 5 a goal. And shit, son. Shit happens. I think they need to adjust. You know how Montreal's been all playoffs. They take one good beating and then they get adjusted, and then they adjust themselves, and then they go on to win the series. So I think that's going to happen again. We'll see about that. But what did you guys think of that first game, Ty?
yeah, I thought it went exactly how it should have gone. Tampa has been really good. Montreal has looked okay at times. Carey Price was not the best player on the team last night, which he has needed to be in a lot of these games to get them to this point. I called Tampa winning the series in 5. I am not changing my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if Tampa swept. I don't think they will. I think Montreal's going to get a game. I think Montreal's going to get a game at home. Especially, I hear they're talking about increasing the capacity at the arena, which is cool to hear.
They're looking to get 50% capacity right now.
Close to 10,000, right? I think.
Yeah.
For games 3 and 4.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, the Tampa is so deep. They're so talented. Vasilevsky, which I've talked about before, I think he is a better goalie currently in the last few years than Carey Price. Carey Price has been unreal in these playoffs, but you add that goalie and their depth and their talent, their forwards, their defense, they're big, they're fast. They haven't lost that hunger. I feel like because their last cup win was in the bubble, they didn't truly get to experience the run, right? You didn't have your fans there. They didn't have a lot of their family around and everything. So they're taking full advantage of it this year, and it's going to be tough. Like you said, Chris, they have adjusted and they've lost the first game in a few of their series. They lost for game 1 in Toronto. They lost game 1 to Vegas, and we'll see how they adjust. But I don't see Tampa losing the series, and they are going to win in 5 games. What did you think, Mike?
That is a bold statement, Mike.
That is a very bold statement, my man. I was really excited to watch the game, and I kind of felt I agree with you that Price was off of his game. You know, he does need to be the absolute best player on the Montreal Canadiens for them to even have a chance. It could be just nerves. You know, that's the biggest stage he's probably ever played on in his life. I think the nerves are going to settle down, and they got to do what they've been doing all playoffs, which is shut down the main line on the opposing team. And they didn't do it last night, but I think that they will. I think going forward, it's going to be a different series. Like I said, once the nerves sort of settle a bit and they get into the swing of things, it's going to be more of a in-your-face kind of hockey, and Price is going to have to stand on his head like he has been all playoffs. And I see it. I don't think that. I mean, it's going to be tough to beat Tampa for sure. They're heavily favored in this. My heart's with Montreal. I want Montreal to win it, being Canadian. But I'm going to say Montreal in 7.
Ooh, that's a good pick. Dan, what do you think?
You know who I've got picked. I'm not gonna curse them. I'm not gonna black cloud them. I don't even want to say their name. So all I gotta say is Montreal does not even deserve to be in this playoffs, but whatever. We've had this argument before. I watched the last game on yesterday, and you know what? If I was Carey Price, I would actually be pissed. Did you guys see that 2 goals where the defenders try to swat the puck out of the middle of the air in the crease and it deflects off their ass, I think, and goes in? Like, when you're in the playoffs, what the hell type of play are you trying to make? Anyways.
It's those nerves I'm talking about.
It's game one.
Whatever. You can't have those types of nerves in the playoffs. And I agree with what Ty said. The running it back, turning it back, 2-time champs, they're playing now for their fans. And do you know that John Cooper came out today and said, please allow fans in the Bell Center. He wants Montreal to be at their best, not have excuses of no fans or whatever. So, you know what? I think it's going to be a one-sided playoffs. Maybe Montreal might have a good game, but I'm going to say one thing. Stop hyping players from Vancouver that play on other teams. Otherwise, here's fact check. Do you know which is the team in the NHL that has the most Canadian and Vancouver players in the NHL?
Who's that?
Chicago Blackhawks. They have the most Canadian players.
What are you saying because we're talking about Carey Price?
Yes.
Well, he's an amazing goalie, man.
Okay, anyways, whatever. So then why was everyone bitching about Boston when Lucic brought the cup home?
Oh,
okay, he's from Burnaby. Oh, there you go. Okay, so if you're going to cheer for a Canadian player, if you're going to cheer for a Vancouver player, then you know what? Don't just jump on the bandwagon.
He's not even from Vancouver. He's from Anaheim Lake, BC.
Well,
there you go.
But I gotta.
What's this guy's problem, man?
I gotta correct you. Lucic
He's
is
fired
not
up,
from
man.
Burnaby. Lucic is from East Van. He went to Templeton. That's not Burnaby, man. That's way far from
definitely
Burnaby.
not wherever the hell.
I'm cheering for Montreal because Montreal's the Canadian team. I'm Canadian. That's what I want to see win it.
I can guarantee you,
for them to win it, Carey Price has got to stand on his head. Do you not agree? For them to win it, Carey Price has got to be their best player. That's what I'm saying.
Agreed.
I don't give a shit if he's from here or if he's from Russia. Who cares? He's got to be the best player.
Why don't you guys cheer for John Cooper?
Oh, fuck.
A lawyer from Prince George.
Oh, fuck Prince George.
I thought you loved Prince George. Weren't you just?
I love Prince George.
Yeah, there you go. That's where John Cooper, the Lightning coach, is from. Fun fact.
That's fantastic.
All right. So, anyways, what about the awards came out today? Vezina winner, the guy that didn't play for his team in the losing game, Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah, we talked about that too.
Oh man,
maybe the NHL just did that to troll them. You know, just another dagger. Do you guys remember that? Tweet
the dagger in the back.
The dagger in the back. Yeah. But yeah,
Oh.
we talked about it last week. We're not going to beat a dead horse, but it they didn't go with their guy, and it cost them, in my opinion.
Hey, you know what? It's the San Jose syndrome with the coach. And then we have the Hart Trophy winner.
No surprise.
No surprise at all. Connor McJesus. Okay. Wow. Another wow player. Just an amazing player. He's the definitely
best player in the world
Gretzky.
in the regular season.
Yeah, best player in the world in the regular season. 100%. And that's our NHL update, folks.
No, the Norris KK Kirill Kaprizov from the Minnesota Wild won the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Hoglander finished 7th in voting.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really good rookie class, though. A couple goalies, like it was a really good class. The crazy thing about Kaprizov is, though, the guy's like 26 years old or something, right?
Yeah,
he's older.
Yeah, he opted to stay in the KHL for quite a while.
Yeah,
before or after he was drafted.
I know. I feel like it should be not be eligible for the Rookie of the Year, just in my opinion.
It is what it is.
Coming up that late.
Dirty time.
All right, time for the Dirty Talk with Dirty Dan from Dirty East Van. Dan, what do you got?
I got a whole lot of things dirty in East Van today, boys. How you guys doing? I hope you're staying cool in this heat wave we're having. And the only thing that is not staying cool is what's happening on the ice during the playoffs. I mean, if you can't beat them, you might as well make excuses, right? So, excuse number one, Kucherov didn't play the entire season for Tampa Bay. Now, just before the playoffs start, boom, he's reactivated off of injured reserve. Now the teams are, I mean, every single team that literally has been knocked out by the Tampa Bay Lightning have now come out and been like, well, you know, they're circumnavigating the rules. Kucherov has been, they're over salary cap, blah, 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 in terms of the rules in fine print. When it comes to the playoffs, whatever your salary cap doesn't matter. It's only the regular season. So, Gary Bettman, maybe you should reevaluate what the fine print is in the rules and tell the players. Let's continue. One more thing. Nugent Hopkins out of Edmonton. Like a $40 million contract over 8 years. Last time I checked, Nugent Hopkins, you know, he's not a must-need on the Oilers. You got McDavid. You got Draisaitl. That's really all you need. And you're throwing money. You need a goalie. You need defense. That's probably not where you're going to get your Stanley Cup from. McDavid better start making some choices. You just won the Hart Trophy, but when are you going to win the Cup? Ba, 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 ba. All right, let's go to the Octagon. Woo, baby. Let's put some heat into this tonight. Dana White, what are you going to do? You had a heavyweight champ ready to fight, and now he pulls out. Show me the money. I can get more money in boxing, and now you're just going to throw an interim title. Nagano wants, you know, boxing money. John Jones is still trying to put on the pounds to get up to heavyweight. And now you don't have a fight. So you're going to throw and make some statement towards his agent saying, oh, well, you know, blame your agent. We're not stupid. Dana White, you don't have a card that's going to sell pay-per-views. You're just buying some time before Conor McGregor comes back in July. That's going to be the heat of the summer. And what are you going to do when Nagano comes back and knocks out John Jones, baby? Ba, 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 ba. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, for the Dirty Talk with Dad. Staying cool. If you don't have an AC, then better start taking some of the ice that I don't use out of the fridge.
Wow, and that's the dirty talk with Dirty Dan. Bam, 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 bam. Well, you got some good points there. I mean, the Nuge.
Terrible contract.
Oh, well, you know what? The Nuge is the new he's the new Smith, right? So he's captain fucking Oilers there. And babyface Cavalier is the same kind of deal. I do like the Nuge. I don't know that he's worth that much over 8 years. How old is he, Dan?
28.
28.
So, this is pretty much his last contract. My question is, why didn't you give Taylor Hall that type of money?
Well, they did an assessment and they decided that Taylor Hall wasn't the
Apparently,
to stay.
For Hall, apparently there was issues in the room.
Mhm.
From a lot of things I've heard. But no, I agree with you, Dan, that it's not so much the money, whatever. It works out to just over $5 million a year, which isn't that bad. He can kill penalties. He's on the second power play unit. I think even the first at times. He scores. He's a good player, but I mean, it's the length for me. He's 28 years old. He's going to be 36 when that ends.
At the end of the day, no one ever plays out their contracts. They sign.
But they
contracts.
They owe on that.
Exactly.
I mean, I think he might currently he's probably in his prime right now, but he has been in the last few years. I don't see him continuing to play at this level for the next even 3-4 years, in my opinion. But you need someone on that second line. They like to split up McDavid and Draisaitl now, so it's another option there. He's another center. Center is important, obviously. It's their second line center. Mike, what do you think about that contract?
I like it, man. I think that it's good for the Oilers over the short term, the next 3-4 years. Anyways, they get him at about $5.2 million a year, whatever it works out to be. And I think that's a steal for Nugent Hopkins, especially in today's NHL. He probably could have got more money had he went elsewhere, but what they offered him was term. Obviously, the 8 years is what appealed to him, and that's why he took it, and that's why he's probably staying here for a little bit less money per year. But he probably could have gone close to $6 million a year, and had he gone to a shittier team, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I think in Burnaby.
No, I said Burnaby boy. He went
so yeah, he could have played in Burnaby. What the hell is this guy talking about, man?
The Sun Devils play in Coquitlam, I thought.
Yeah, man. Sun Devils, we would have paid him. Beer, 5.2 beers every game.
He went
but
for
Mike,
term.
don't you think it's a little long?
No. He went for term. He's only ever played for the Oilers. He wants to finish his career with the Oilers and hopefully with a cup. And hey, buddy, if I had like the opportunity to play with McDavid, I'm pretty sure that I would sign long term as well. So
yeah,
I do think it's a long term, but that's what they had to do to get him. I think for that less amount of money to stay. He's a good player, and to save that cap room for. I think the Oilers want to make a run now, like from next 4 years, be going for these cups, and it's saving them a little bit of cap space there. And I think that's they're favorable for that and happy for that. That's why they gave him that 8-year term. I mean, yeah, it's a long time, but it's the NHL. NHL contracts are built this way.
I'll agree with that. But like Dan said, they don't struggle on offense. That is not their issue. They struggle defensively. Goaltending
is questionable.
Defense. Yep. So $5 million it's not bad, but they have a lot of other holes to fill. I don't know how exactly their cap situation is. I think they are in similar shape to us. I don't think it's good. I think there's a lot of things that need to be done for them.
That's the one thing. But that's one thing I like about Nugent Hopkins is he plays the hockey, 200 feet or whatever it is, both ends of the ice. He's a good defensive player.
Yeah.
Two-way player, yeah. So I think I like that move. I like keeping him. Other people's. You're talking about Taylor Hall earlier. Someone mentioned him. Taylor Hall is an offensive player. He's not really the guy that's going to get back and block the shots and get in your face and rush to get back. Taylor Hall is definitely an offensive player. They have that in McDavid. They need like more people like Ryan Nugent Hopkins, and I think Ryan Nugent Hopkins. And I think the most Oiler fans would agree that he's sort of fit in really well with the McDavid thing coming in there. and sort of, like you said,
Yeah.
playing with him on the power play and all that stuff. And I think it's a really good fit for them. I think he's one player that they needed to keep, and I think it's good that they got him for what they got him at.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So how about Francis Ngannou?
Oh man.
What's going on there, man? You think the Paul brothers have gotten his head a little bit, thinking he's worth a little more money than he is, or what?
It's the Paul brothers, and it's John Jones, because as soon as he won that fight, before he even had the belt wrapped around him, you had John Jones tweeting saying, "Yeah, let's get this fight going." Blah blah blah. He wants 30 million, this, and this, and he wants all this kind of money coming in. And you're not really gonna stiff arm the UFC. They're too big right now. They're not just a one-man show. Not everyone's going in to tune into John Jones or to Ngannou. I mean, Ngannou he just became the champ. He should be fighting next. He should be holding this belt for a while and developing his brand like John Jones has done. I said Ngannou is doing that, right? Yeah. So Ngannou needs to do that. And apparently I'm 100% on Dana White's side here. It seems like, just from the interviews that I've heard, that Ngannou's manager is trying to stiff arm him. They want more money. They want whatever it is. And they're like, look, man, I think they announced you're supposed to fight in August, and they're saying, no, they want to fight in September. Whatever it is, they don't want to participate, then get the hell out of here.
No,
There's other people that want to step up and be the heavyweight champion of the world. And it's probably easier to not have to go through Ngannou to get it.
No, I'm telling you, bring in Stipe. Stipe wants to do a fight in Croatia. Have a super fight in Croatia and split at the stadium.
There you go. Exactly. There's other options for the UFC. We don't need to see Francis Ngannou fight.
No,
I mean,
that would be awesome. But for me, I think there must be an issue there too. Because where is Stipe? I mean, they just announced Derek Lewis versus Cyril Gane. Okay, this Gane guy fought this past Saturday, main event on a fight night. He won a unanimous decision against Volkov. I have never heard of the guy. I've seen him on a few cards, but I haven't got to see his fights. What I read about him, he's only been a pro MMA fighter for 3 years, which is pretty crazy. Now all of a sudden he's getting an interim title fight. But for me, that sounds like Dana White and the UFC they're cheaping out, man. They're going with some kind of no-name guy who just won a main event fight on a decent card. A fight night is not a huge draw, right? I have said this on past episodes. I'm going to stick to it. I think they're underpaid for what they do. Not necessarily this Gane character who's going to get this interim title shot, but the Ngannou's. Like, sure, he hasn't been a steady champion for a while, but he is right now the baddest man on the planet. Like, that's what the UFC is all about, right? Heavyweights are a big draw. Pay the man. Pay John Jones. You know how big that fight would be?
He even said that they're paying John Jones. John Jones wants a ridiculous amount of money, 30 million or whatever, to step into the octagon.
We don't know.
Well, that doesn't happen.
Someone
mentioned that figure to me.
Look at the salaries that I have sent. I'm not saying they don't get paid, but Israel Adonizé, he got 500 grand for he's the middleweight champ. Like, for a champ, you compare that to like a boxer and like a middleweight title in the WBC. That guy's getting 5 to 10 million for his title fight.
That's true.
That's all I'm saying. I just think Dana White he knows the system, and he's been doing this for so long that I don't know what it is. He's a good negotiator, clearly, and he knows there's a lot of talent out there. He plays hardball, but I feel like these guys they're grossly underpaid. What do you think, Dan?
I think at the end of the day, Dana White, to be completely honest, he's just a businessman. And at the end of the day, if I'm going to put a fight on pay-per-view, how much money is it going to make? And Ngannou ain't going to be making draws fighting Lewis. And that's all it came down to. And right now, Dana White is trying to get into the media, trying to hype everyone up, calling out his manager, calling out whatever. Half the time he's, firing McGregor, and now McGregor's on the card. I think McGregor has been retired 3 times. That's what we want to hear. That's what the hype. Same thing with Nate Diaz. How many times has he been retired and back and retired and back?
0.
He's retired.
That's
like
Nick.
3 times. Whatever. Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz, whatever. But again, that's what the hype is what sells. I guarantee you, Dana White is a businessman. He's hyping the media. He's hyping, having someone to talk about. Who the hell was talking? This fight was almost booked, ready to happen. No one.
And Ty, the problem is too is like these. Dana White knows that there's other fighters in line that are willing to give it their all for that $500,000, or whatever it is that they're promoting here. So you want to have 30 million or 10 million or whatever it is, right? We have a guy next in line here that's going to come in here. I would bet you that Lewis would fight for free to get that belt. You get that belt, then you have some power. You get the endorsements. You're the king of the world. You got that belt. People would do it for free. You don't need to be paid 30 million for that.
But you just
right.
said what I said too, though. Nagano got the belt. He has the belt. He should be getting that extra money and shit coming his way, especially from the UFC.
Not millions. No way. He's not getting more than Adesanya gets. Not a chance.
And Nagano's got what?
Yeah, and that's a problem, wins? Man. Heavyweight champ of the world is the baddest man on the planet. The UFC has sold that since day one.
He's not an undefeated champ. He's not like a Tyson was when he came into the
of course not. It's UFC.
He wasn't knocking people out left, right, and center. There are guys like that have not lost in the UFC, and they're top of the food chain, like Khabib. He never lost.
But you see, fighters are seeing what's going on. They obviously are seeing what these YouTubers. There's other fighters than YouTubers that do this. Chad Ochocinco went and made $1 million boxing. Nate Robinson, a washed-up basketball player, went and fought, got knocked out, made a bunch of money. Like, they're just seeing the money that's out there, and I don't know if it's going to take away from the UFC. Like you said, there's always someone else in line, but look what's happening. Nagano can leave the UFC and go fight Jake Paul and make millions of dollars. It's going a weird way.
What happens if he beats Jake Paul? Then Jake Paul is no longer a draw, right?
Yeah, no, but
is now Nagano the king of the YouTube whatever? No, people aren't going to pay to see Nagano. He's not no YouTube sensation.
But what I'm saying is that one fight he could make 10 million in it, where that would take him 10 UFC fights to make that same payday.
Maybe you could be right. I don't know.
It's just going in a weird way. All I'm saying is going in a weird way, and it's going to be interesting to see if other fighters continue this trend and this like uprising against Dana White and their pay structure in the UFC.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess we'll see. I would be more interested in seeing what are you trying to cut me off? What I know that their salaries are one thing, but I know they get a piece of the pie in some other way. Whatever it is, I don't know, but I'd like to see what those contracts actually do look like, because what I understand is they're making real good money. It's probably not $100 million a fight, but it's millions of dollars a fight. So I'd be interested to see the fine print of these contracts.
So would I, 100%. And real quick before Gova cuts us off, Conor McGregor was the first guy to play hardball, and he won, right? Because I think Dana White realized
he was such a draw.
He had that following. He was the draw. He won. He's the first one to have it reported, like in his contract. They actually released the numbers. We'll have to look that up, of what he gets for the pay-per-view buys, and everything else in terms of endorsements to go along with those fights. Because he played hardball and he won. You remember how long some of those holdouts were before he fought. He's been inactive for a while, and it was because of money.
Yeah, and we'll be breaking down his fight next week. So he's fighting Poirier.
Yep.
There is, Dan, you mentioned one more thing. I don't know if we want to talk about it, is Kucherov.
Well, I mean, again, we'll just talk about it quickly, but at the end of the day, it's all more about the fine line, players complaining, like you said, if you can't beat them, hurt them. And it all comes down to the commissioner, it comes down to the rules, the CBA. And that's their problem, NHL.
Well, you know what? I actually heard about it for the first time about a month ago, and I thought there's no way this is what they're doing, that they're holding him out and that he would want to do that. But now I'm sort of seeing, it's like, yeah, man, maybe it is. Like, it was like he came out flying out of the gates. Like, he hasn't missed a beat. He is ready to go. It's almost like, this is what exactly their game plan all along. But I don't know how you talk a player into like sitting out the entire season. Maybe it's because COVID is a short season, blah, blah, blah. But I can see it. I think it is dirty and it's bullshit too.
Dirty time.
I agree, Mike. It's like it's a weird gray area for the NHL where these GMs have figured out this loophole where they can do it. Like right now with Kucherov, I believe they would be like 18 mil over the cap.
Over the cap.
With their current roster, yeah.
All I gotta say is when Tampa wins, if you guys bring up any type of bullshit of an asterisk on my win, you guys can go to
COVID
hell.
season. Shortened COVID season.
You guys can go to hell.
Asterisk because Dan Fernandez called it. Anyway. All right. That was great. Dirty talk, dirty time. Dirty. Great show tonight. Hope everyone enjoyed it. That was episode 21. That's right, 21. 3 times 7, 21, baby. Episode 21. Waiting for episode 22. We're gonna have a big giveaway. That's right, we're gonna have a big giveaway. Episode 22. You need to tune in to episode 22 to be able to qualify for this giveaway. It's gonna be a great one. It's gonna be a phenomenal one. More details to come this week via Instagram, via Facebook. Be sure to tune in. Give us a rating on Apple Podcasts. Give us a rating. It'll give you an opportunity to win the prize. We'll see what happens. All right, we are at www.westcoastsportsjunkies.ca. All of our content is there. Please have a look. You can follow us there via your favorite podcasting platform. You can see us on YouTube. The video on YouTube, we're a bunch of good-looking guys, gotta say. Especially Mr. Dan when he's not hiding from the camera. Good-looking guy, and just come and see us. That's it for us tonight, and hope you enjoyed the episode. Can't wait till next episode to see my picks on the Euro come through and these idiots drink. So
England, baby.
No. Boo. Aye, and goodbye.
Goodbye.